So Elementary OS promotes itself as a thoughtful, capable, and ethical replacement to Mac OS and Windows. So this is the creators of Elementary OS wanted to promote something which is far better than Windows when it comes to its looks, its feel, and the way it would handle common day-to-day tasks. Although I have been using Elementary OS for I think a couple of weeks, it's already on my laptop, and to be honest, I find it quite uh, easy to use. Okay, so that's one of the things that I've noticed with the Elementary OS. Although I'll be pointing out some things later, which I think would be a lot, which wherein they could actually improve it when it comes to packaging applications. But we'll get into that later. So this is its login screen. So as you can see, it's quite clean. Doesn't have that much background except for the one on the login window itself. So we also have here DEF, then just the background of the current user. Okay, so this will have also the same this particular background will also have the same um, image as the one that's uh, found on the wallpaper of the user. Okay, so let's try to log in. Okay, so let's try to okay. So this is actually Elementary OS. Let's try to adjust. Okay, so as you can see, there's the applications. If I were to click this button here, I can see the different applications installed initially on my machine, uh, the date and volume, the status of the internet, notification, and of course logged in. Okay, and you also have here the dock at the bottom. So I'm just going to give a um, some of the things that I've noticed with Elementary OS. The first thing is once you install Elementary OS, compared to other Linux distribution, is that it doesn't come with other applications such as Office. Office doesn't come with Office applications, unlike like say for example Ubuntu or ubuntubased, wherein it's packaged along, wherein LibreOffice is packaged along with it. Once you installed it, it will be installed uh, along the element in LibreOffice will also be installed along with it. So in Elementary OS, as you can see, these are all the default applications. Doesn't have that much applications installed. So one of the of course that's one of the downsides. So if let's say for example you just wanted everything out of the box, I would suggest you to try to go for something like Ubuntu Baji or Ubuntu. Okay, but if you wanted to be you wanted something that you can actually still customize, select the different applications, like if you wanted to use other Office applications other than LibreOffice alternative, then maybe you can use Elementary OS. Okay, so if we were to right click here, as you can see the the context menu is also quite minimal. So you have your change wallpaper, display settings, and system settings. Okay, this is actually called this they also chose for this one Plank. Okay, so try to look for this one here. Okay, I'll just try to show it to you later. So so we have here App Center. Okay, now App Center is where you can actually look for different applications if that you want to install in your operating system. So some of the applications here are free and some needs to be purchased, although it doesn't cost much. Like, but for me as a Filipino living here in the Philippines, of course 250 pesos is still not that much. But since I don't have a credit card, so I won't be able to purchase these applications. Although I can look for alternative applications. But in my case, I don't want to pay any amount of money. If I could just look for alternative, then the better. You can also find here installed. These are the different applications installed. So operating system updates. As you need to update this particular operating system, online accounts, files, file roller, events, camera, and so on. So code, photo, side load, system settings. These are all the different default applications that has been installed along with the operating system. Okay, setting daemons and so on, elementary icons. Okay, so these are its vector icons in elementary OS. Okay, so these are all its different icons. So okay, let's try to go back. Now let's try to look for other. Let's say for example we wanted to change the background. How do we do that in elementary OS? Maybe you can go to system settings, which you can also find it here on the dock. Um, you have here desktop. Okay, so these are the different wallpapers again installed that comes once you install your elementary OS. So let's say for example this try to use this one. So after this, just double click, and that's it. You can already change your uh, background. Okay. You can also do import photo here if you wanted. Let's say for example you downloaded an image of the internet or uh, somewhere, then you can just import it here. Okay. So just click cancel. Appearance. Again, the Elementor OS only comes with two styles: the default, which is light, and the dark. Now, one of the things also that I've noticed with Elementor OS that it has a very limited customization options. Unlike again with Linux Mint or Ubuntu Baji, it offers just two styles. So you have here default and dark. Okay, so I'm trying to click, but I cannot seem to. Oh, there it is. Okay, you only have here two. So style, default, and dark. Okay. Uh, then let's try to go to text. You can also change the text size. Now, this is one of the things that I've noticed with this particular operating system or elementary OS that it offers a dyslexia-friendly um, option. Okay, so if we're to toggle this one, bottom-heavy shapes and increased character spacing can help improve legibility and reading speed. So maybe I haven't fully explored other Linux operating system, but this one so far is one of the things that I find quite useful if you have if a person that's currently using the operating system has a dyslexia. Okay, so um, this one is actually one of the uh, its main selling point, dyslexia friendly option in elementary OS. Okay, so just try to toggle it off. Then we have here dock and panel. Okay, so for dock and panel, you can also change. Although, again, compared to other operating system, wherein you can change it by pixels, this one you can only have here three options. Okay, so you have here three types only. You have icon size, which is small, medium, or default. Then we have large. Okay, pressure level, panel transparency. Okay, then let's go to multitasking. So this is it's multitasking if we need to pull something on the corners and so on. Okay, let's go to all settings. Then what else? Display. Um, you have your display. If you wanted to change the display, maybe you can change it. Again, by default, I have here, although by default, we have here 2560 by 1600 resolution is selected. I would normally have this one on my virtual machine, 1440 by 900. Okay, then we also have night light. Okay, side to close. Now, again, App Center. Okay, so you also have here music. So to click music. Let's say for example, let's try to install something here on my. Okay, so we have here. This is actually installed. Uh, where is it? This one, music. Um, Now one of the things also that I've noticed with Elementary OS is that it's if since like in my case I'm used to using Windows, the close button is here on the upper. It's located on the upper right part of my window, along with my minimize, maximize. So you have here three buttons usually: minimize, maximize, and close. So and as you one of the things that I've noticed also with this one is it doesn't have minimize and maximize. Okay, so if I wanted to minimize this particular window, all I have to do is right click, then we have here maximize, hide, or close. So it takes some time of getting used to if I'm going to shift from like any other operating system like such as Windows or Ubuntu, although this one is still a derivative of Ubuntu. Okay, so I could still very much use the same commands, much like if I were to install applications via the terminal. But it would take me quite some time to get used to, especially if I'm used to having the uh, options here on the upper right part. So I would normally right click here, and we have here maximize, hide, or close, or minimize, maximize, and close. Okay, so that's one of the things also that I've noticed with elementary OS. Uh, okay, so if you want to change the time, you have to all you have to do is just double click, click here on top on the date, then change time settings. Um, okay, so let's try to look for my country. AM, PM, 24 hours based on location. Okay, so since I'm in Asia, then let's me try to look for Manila. Okay, there's Manila. Okay, so we also have here decide to change if it's possible for me to change network time. If it's possible for me also to change 12-hour form. Oh, there it is. AM, PM, and we have already have a 12-hour format. Okay, Manila 12-hour format. Show in panel, day of week. If I want to put seconds, then I can take seconds. Then let me just go to all settings again. Okay, then it's close. So this is actually elementary OS. Now in my um actually love elementary OS. I've been using it for a couple of weeks. Then I shifted to Linux Mint. Uh, if it's trying to mimic Mac, I think in my opinion they're doing a good they're doing a good impression on it or about it. They've done a good job trying to mimic Mac with regards to having this one as an alternative for Macintosh, especially if you have a laptop. Like maybe, although I haven't tested installing Macintosh or Mac operating system on my laptop, but I already installed this one. So I think this one can actually compete with Mac, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. Okay. So web. Okay, decide to go to web. Uh, I think also for web, they're not using Firefox by default. Unlike your other operating system, they're by default actually they're using Firefox. But this one, I haven't checked. Let's just try to check if it's what type of operating system or what not operating system, what browser they're using. If we can actually find the name of the browser here, preference. cannot seem to find the name of the operating system. Preference, keyboards. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is DuckDuckGo, but I could be mistaken. It could also be this Firefox, wherein they just try to theme Firefox. Work-wise, I could actually work using Elementary OS. I could use this one for my work. I'm not going to, uh, if I were to use this one, I would still be very much willing to use this one for my day-to-day task. Okay, so again, it's not that hard to use compared to other operating systems, but I just need to install a lot of things on it. Okay, much like what I would normally do during my on my Windows machine. I would still the operating system is installed separately with other applications such as Office. Okay, so that's just my simple review on Elementary OS. And I would say that Elementary OS is one of the most beautiful Ubuntu-based operating system that I came across with. Okay. So guys, if you find this particular review interesting or useful, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button.